A very warm welcome to today's edition of our learning tutorial. I'm JK of JK Clothing. Today we're going to learn how to sew this beautiful infinity shorts you see on your screen. This is called an infinity shorts because it can be converted into different other designs. If this is something you'd want to learn how to do, please do stick and stay and let's do it together. Please don't forget to subscribe to this channel. It is the only help you can give our channel. And also keep your comments coming and criticisms as well. Let's do this. We first need to get our measurement. The waist of our model is 32 inches, a hip of 49, crotch 31, inseam 4 inches, outseam 18. This inseam and outseam were really gotten from our full trousers length, which is 42, and the inseam was 28. So because we are making it short, we had to take off about 24 inches from the outseam, and you do same for the inseam as well. That's how come we got our 18 and 4 inches respectively for the outseam and the inseam. From this, we'll go ahead and then see how we draft the shorts pattern. First, we will draw a line to represent the starting line. The next step is to divide our hip measurement into 4. But let's bear this in mind. This measurement we are taking was for a fitting pant. And because the shorts we are doing is loose, it means we'd have to add on a few inches to create the ease we would have in the shorts as you see it. And so instead of the 49 inches, when we divide it by 4, we'll be adding 2 inches to it. And so 49 divided by 4 will give us 12 and quarter. 12 and quarter plus 2 inches will give us 14 and quarter. And so that's how wide we are doing our measurement. As for this 14 and quarter, we are adding 2.5 inches for the crotch extension. We will mark our outseam measurement, which is 18, but then because we are taking 2 inches off for the waistband, we will subtract 2 inches from 18 to arrive at 16 inches. Then we will add 2 inches as hem allowance. The next step is to take our inseam measurement, which is 4 inches. Now this inseam line is 7 as our crotch depth. Because I want to use this part as the front crotch line and this part as the hip, I would measure the same distance I measured here, down here, and then mark this line, so that I'll be able to get this as my starting point to work towards this area. This being our hip area, we would measure the hip divided by 4 and mark. Bear in mind that the hip divided by 4 gave us 12 and quarter inches, but then we added 2 inches to it for some ease. We will then add our 2.5 inches crotch extension. We are taking the 14 and quarter inches we had here to the waistline. From here, we are to take a ½ inch inwards, and this will be our center front point. We join a line from this point to the hip divided by 4. Since we have 2.5 here, we would mark 3.5 to the top and then draw an arc to join these two. We will join this line straight downwards. We'll go ahead and cut this. Now we're going to draft the back. I've placed the front pattern on the fabric, which is to be used for the back pattern, making sure that I left about 5 inches from the crotch, and then on the top here I left 2 inches. So this is what you are going to do. We would first measure 2 inches from the top here, that is the top of the center front. We would measure this waistline we got here and extend it all the way till it touches the 2 inches. We would add just 1 inch to it. This is because the back has to be a little bigger than the front. We will draw a line joining the side of the waist to the center back. We will draw a line connecting this very point to the crotch extension, the front crotch extension we have here. We are to extend the inseam line and these other lines we have here onto the back pattern. From this front crotch extension, we will come backwards by 4.5 inches. Draw an arc to connect this line onto the extension we just did. We would extend the length by 3 inches. We need to measure from where the shorts ended to the inseam line, which is 4 inches here. We would come and measure the same 4 inches at the back crotch extension. You'd realize that this 4 inches falls a little below the extension we have done from this very line, and so you would refine the curve to meet it at where the 4 inches is. We'll go ahead and cut. The next step is to cut our infinity strap. This strap is measured 12 inches and then we are doing 2 yards, and so the length will be 36 plus 36, 72 inches, and then the width will be 12 inches. I've folded this fabric into 4, and so we have 1, 2, 3, 4 layers, and we're measuring 12 inches, and then we'll cut. And so we have 2 of these straps. Next, we are going to cut our inseam pocket. The pocket mouth should be more than 9 inches. Bear in mind, this has 4 layers of fabric. I'm curving them downwards. Yes, and so this is what we are doing. I will cut this. How big you want it to be will depend on you. This is how we're going to insert it. We have placed the front and back together, and we're going to fix the pocket on. This is to make sure that we leave about half of an inch from the waist downwards. And then we'll create a notch indicating where exactly we'll be placing the beginning of our pocket. And then we'll create another one down here to indicate where the bottom of the pocket would be placed. This is how we are going to place the pockets on the front and back patterns. We pick one and then we place this good size together, making sure that we match the notches. We repeat same for the back pattern as well. We will now take this to our sewing machine and then attach the pockets to the patterns. We will top stitch this. Then we'll repeat the same process for the rest of the patterns. Now this is what we're going to do. We'll pick one front pattern and we'll pick another back pattern so that we place them good size together. We need about 1 inch from the waistline downwards. From that point, we are moving downwards by 6.5 inches. And so we are going to sew from here all the way downwards till we get to the 6.5 inches, and then we move downwards. So this is our pocket. We repeat same for the other side of the shorts. We run overlock stitches all around our seam. We are going to stitch the two front crotches together. This is our front crotch and that is our back crotch. Now we are going to fold inwards our 2-inch hem allowance. We'll do same for the other part. We then take this to our sewing machine and then we stitch on our hem. Okay, so we are done with our hem. Since our model's waist is 32 inches, and then we measure this and we get, this is 28 times 2, meaning 56 inches. And so we have to gather the waist till we get our 32 inches waist. Even with this very short, you need to make the waist a little tighter. And so instead of the 32, we are doing 30 inches. And so it means we are going to gather the waistline till we get around 31 or 32 thereabout, so that you stitch off about 2 inches from it to get 30 inches for the waist. As such, we are going to sew 2 lines on the edge here so that we're able to pull them and then get our gathered waistline. And so we'll pull these threads till we gather the waist. We are going to fix our 2-inch waistband, but then we need to cut it into 3 inches. And so the width will be 3 inches and our length would be 32.5, or let's make it 33. Okay, so this is the actual waistband that is coming to the good side, and this very one is going to be the interface for it. I've made sure that I left some excess here, which I've folded backwards inside like this, and so we're going to give it a top stitch on this very one, and then we'll come and fix this on the waistband. we're going to run some stitches on this. So after we are done stitching our waistband onto our shorts, we now have to deal with the infinity strap. So this is it. What you're going to do right now would be to finish the edges. As we are folding this in by about 1/2 inch, we'll do the same for the other side, and then we'll also close one side of it, leaving the other side unfinished. We have finished our infinity straps. What you're going to do right now would be to fix them onto the shorts. And so this is what you do. You make sure that one side of it is at the center front and the other side is at where your side seam is. This is where we had our pocket. And so we're making sure that it extends all the way to this part. I just want this to extend it a little bit so that this other one can overlap. Once you do this, you see a little bit of excess with regards to this and that. And so we'll just pleat it, or you can gather it a little. We do the same for the other side. So after pinning this, we are going to sandwich that into the other interfacing, that's the waistband interfacing. So we'll put this here, we pin it, and then we'll go ahead and stitch. Okay, so with the next one, we're going to flip this inward and then we'll pin it all along so that we secure the waistband. Okay, so with our waistband secured and in place, we're going to fix our zipper. So right now, this being our waist, we'll take off 1 inch so that we get the 30 we're talking about. Our zipper is going to be fixed about 8 inches below, and so we take that off as well. And then we stitch from here all the way to the crotch extension. And so right now it's now time to fix our zipper here. And so after our zipper is fixed, the last step is to finish the inseam. And so we are putting the two together like this, and then we'll just sew off 1/2 inch throughout, and we are done with our beautiful dress. Thank you so much for watching till the end. This is the result of our beautiful infinity shorts. Please don't forget to subscribe. Recommend this page to your friends and loved ones. It's a bye from us.